One message for you from your aunt. She will bust both of you in the head. You know, hear me?
Not rocket science,
I think you, like me, have a face for radio.
You know, hear me?
We gonna play with the players we got. Next man up.
That's why it sucks.
I'm not talking to you.
I'm not talking to you.
This kind of unprofessionalism does not need to be tolerated. I mean it. Like,
you know, hear me? You know, hear me? You know, hear me? You know, hear me?
what the hell is going on here? Just all hang up.
Another episode of the BS Podcast.
Hang on.
Hang
on. There's all kinds of noise in my ear now.
Oh, jeez.
We need a little bit more professionalism.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to week number 1 of the BS Podcast. I am your host, Quincy Moran, a.k.a. the Q Dog, a.k.a. the Q Diggity Dog. And I'm so excited to bring on my fellow hosts and guests. Actually, you guys aren't guests. My fellow hosts with this exciting victory. Alabama takes down Florida State on the road 31-17. What's up, Josh?
We lost.
What? We lost?
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Should I stop the drum? Wait a minute. You're telling me
I kind of like the drums though.
They're coming back, but stop everything. You're telling me that Alabama, with 175,000 5-star recruits, state-of-the-art coaching staff, brand new Ryan Grubb, you're telling me we lost?
Yeah, according to Austin, they were 5 stars for a reason when he was talking about Ty Simpson. So we lost. Yeah,
we lost to a 2-10 team from last year.
They're probably going to be better than that this year, but yeah, we lost.
Okay, I'm going to take off. You guys take over from here, and I'll see you next time we win. Okay.
I've grieved enough, dude.
Oh yeah. I too have done some grieving, and we will welcome to the stage. Well, Bill, you have something that's blocking your camera, unless a masked man is getting ready to walk into the room and hold you hostage and demand money.
Well, it's definitely not an Alabama defensive football player.
No, because it can't cover anything. That's right. Welcome to the program, everybody. As we get started here on the BS Podcast, yeah, you guys seen it. Thank you to everybody who's watching. Make sure that you comment below. Oh, what a bad weekend. Alabama goes to Tallahassee.
I don't see that we're live on any. Usually it has an eyeball thing at the top. What's up with that?
It's if you look to the other side, I switched it around because now they give you the opportunity to switch, and we have people watching. We are live. I see the eyeball.
Where's the eyeball? I don't see the eyeball.
Don't worry about the eyeball. Let's talk about that's fundamentals. Who needs them? Never mind. I guess Alabama does. Anyway, the tide melts down in Seminole town, and we're going to talk about that today. We're going to bring you Wild Bill's Bama bullet points in the first quarter. We're going to bring you the second quarter, brought to you by the Q Dog, talking stats, and boy, they're painful to look at. Actually, not as painful as you might think, all except for the score. In the third quarter, typically it's the dashes on the board, but we're going to have Aunt Cindy in for a haul, and in the fourth quarter, we're going to talk about our predictions, and thankfully, I don't know where the predictions went, but I can tell you this: everybody sucked. So, without further ado, I want to introduce to you my cohorts. So, Aunt Cindy, really quickly tell the people who you are and what you do.
I am Quincy and Josh's aunt, and I'm also Wild Bill's wife, Amber's mom, and Austin's precious mother-in-law. And I am an independent beauty consultant with Mary Kay Cosmetics. And I also am a marketing executive for the wellness store.
That is excellent. It's great to have you. And I'm about to run outside and punch some dogs in the face. Because they're not supposed to. They know that we're having a live podcast. They're not supposed to do that. And you've already, you know him, you heard him. He corrected me on this particular program because I thought Alabama won. I thought it was living in a dream world. His name is Josh Moran. Josh, tell the people who you are and what you do, sir.
I'm Josh Moran. I cannot disclose where I work because I don't want to get fined or fired because of my opinions. And I just basically talk a lot of crap about things that happen.
Yes, he is the whitest color analyst that's ever been on the program, but he is here nonetheless, and we welcome your comments below. Thanks for watching. And my co-host.
I got a little hood in me, though. Don't call me the whitest.
You do. Actually, my DNA is probably the whitest on the planet. It'd be harder to get whiter than me.
Yes.
But my co-host on the program, none other than Wild Bill. Wild Bill, tell the folks who you are and what you do, brother.
Wild Bill, I'm Cindy's husband. Amber's dad, Cindy's son-in-law's father-in-law. Is that right? Cindy's son-in-law's father, yeah. And Josh and Quincy's uncle.
He had to think about that. So.
Yeah. Pastor New Directions Church of God, and I work part-time for the city of Gadsden at Twin Bridges Golf Course.
And right now, with hashtag free Wild Bill, please send your money to get him freed from wherever he is in an undisclosed area because he looks like he's being held captive like a hostage. So hashtag free Wild Bill on Cash App.
Shackles. He is being held hostage.
I guess.
Oh, Lord. I don't know what it is, but I'm expecting a masked man at any moment to show up and start hitting you with a baton in order to demand money for your freedom. And I am Quincy Moran, a.k.a. the Q-Dog, once again. And we are here to talk about a whole lot of BS. And as a matter of fact, I think it's all too fitting for this episode to be called, or this program to be called, the BS Podcast. Because what we saw on Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, in Tallahassee, Florida, was a lot of BS. So with that, Wild Bill, we are going to bring you on for somebody has an echo going on, and I sound dangerously awesome, but if you would, please control that. And here we go. I don't know what Wild Bill's doing. He looks like he's in a fist fight right now, trying to get worse.
He's telling someone to talk to the hand.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for Wild Bill and his Bama bullet points. Cowboy, let's listen to what you have to say about your bullet points from this particular game. I always look forward to them, but man, it's gonna be painful. And remember, hey, wherever you're watching from, whatever platform it is, make sure to comment below. We'll feature you on the show. Probably get some live interaction as Josh insults you and dares you to ever come back to the program. Just so you know, Wild Bill, the floor is yours.
Kind of messed up.
I guess the problem with my lighting is Cindy didn't say it for me, and I don't got a clue what I'm doing with it. So
we are worried about your safety.
I'll blame it on Cindy. Hey, bullet point. Number one, effort. Where was effort? I saw no effort after the opening drive. Number two, where was any energy? Not just from the players, but what about the coaches? I saw no energy from the players on the sideline. Saw no energy from the coaches. Cindy and I watched a couple of other ball games over the weekend. Coaches, they getting excited over on the sideline. Players getting excited on the sideline. Our players sitting over on the bench wondering how much money they're getting paid today. They wasn't worried. It seemed like we had no energy.
There was no energy. It
energy
blows me away.
Hey, one of our coaches stood over there with his arms folded. It took energy to keep his arms folded. So I guess Quincy will hit on this. Florida State had 236 yards rushing. Terrible. And we had a whopping 87 yards rushing.
Woo!
Wow. Hey, there's a bright spot. We had no turnovers. Josh's favorite quarterback didn't fumble the ball. He didn't throw no interceptions. So we had that.
Don't get me
And
started.
we had a whopping 1 sack for the day. And that was
Hey, Wild Bill,
yes.
I don't hear one of your Bama bullet points touting our 4 tackles for loss on the entire game. What happened
got
there?
The stats, brother.
Hey,
That's
I would
right.
also
There's
like
not much.
to say, Ty Simpson has a new job. He's doing good at them groceries now, pal.
I got something for you in a minute, so just chill out. Our defensive coordinator said that 100% every defensive player would improve going into the next game. 100%. So I'm going to be looking and watching. Last one, number 8. Me and Cindy heard this told today. Our quarterback, Ty, he had a few problems, but he isn't the problem. And
He's
there's
one of them.
bullet points.
You know what, Wild Bill? Just briefly, I want to comment on what you were talking about. We'll get some color from the team as well. But I mean, listen, for Coach Womack, I'm going to be very critical in this program, and that's just the way it's going to be. And I don't feel good about being critical just because I was a football coach for almost a decade in high school, and I know some of what goes on behind the scenes, and the effort that's put in and what it takes to get prepared. But for Coach Womack to call his shot that 100% of the players would show effort and improvement this week. I mean, it's like going in the ring, Mike Tyson going in the ring and fighting a formidable opponent. And the next thing you know, the next fight, he's calling a shot. There will be 100% improvement. He's going to fight a 6-year-old. I mean, it doesn't make any sense because we're playing. I mean, we're playing Louisiana Monroe. If there was no improvement, we might still look like we've improved. And something that irritates the fire out of me is that Coach Womack stood up there and said, nothing took us by surprise. Everything they saw, they expected. But I'm beside myself that is the product that this team put on the field. And out of those 87 yards rushing, Josh, 55 of those yards came
First
on
drive.
the first.
Yeah.
Talk to me. I mean, I know you're very critical of Ty Simpson, and look, he deserves it. And I can appreciate what Kyle Henderson says. These guys are paid athletes now. So they're not just college kids. They are paid athletes. And so we're fans. We
can criticize them now. Yes.
I'm not gonna take shots at them personally, but as far as their athleticism and their effort and their attitude and what they put on the field, it is fair game. Josh, what do you think about 55 yards, first drive looks great, even had a few setbacks, we're able to overcome it, finish it with a touchdown, and then we have 17 more carries for the rest of the game, totaling 37 yards. No, 32 yards, excuse me. What are your thoughts?
Well, I don't know. To me, it looks like they scripted the first drive, and that's what they worked on all through the week. And they weren't very good at adapting afterwards once they got punched in the mouth. So they expected to come out, dominate that first drive, and it looked like they just thought that Florida State was going to roll over and think, oh, well, it's us from last year. Might as well just lose the game without playing against them and fighting back. But what happened was we came out, we did what we did. That was a great drive. But then they came back and punched us in the mouth, and we folded like wet paper. It was one of the least inspiring games I've ever seen from a team on both sides of the ball. Sure, Ty Simpson was having to scramble some, but I saw him make horrible decisions throughout the game. He has no touch on his passes. He throws everything 900 miles an hour. He completed some really good passes to one receiver. Ryan Williams, I don't know what happened to him. He looks like he brought rocks for hands. Couldn't even catch the ball. They're on TikTok all the time doing videos instead of practicing. They are making money, but we can't blame NIL because all these other teams out there are doing the same.
They all have NIL.
And I watched the Miami Notre Dame game last night, and that was two good football teams fighting it out till the end. And it came down to the last possession. I expected Bama to fight back. They got punched in the mouth. It didn't look like the defense knew how to adjust. The coaches did not have them prepared. The players were not prepared. It didn't look like the offense could adjust. They were not prepared. The coaches didn't have them prepared. They just thought they were going to come in and cakewalk this team, and that's not the way it goes. Florida State had everything going against us. Gus Bus, he was there. He drove over our whole fan base.
Yes, he did.
Bro, and just spun the tires in our faces. And the dirt's still on our face right now. So,
yeah,
to me, it was the perfect storm. And then it happened. It happened. And we had no fight. And for the coaches to come on and say, you're going to see adjustments. Like, it's your job to have them ready to go in the first game. It's your job. And the fact that you're not pissed off more about it pisses me off. I don't see how you could, please, God, someone hit up Saban and have him come and coach the team again. I know it's not going to happen. I sound like a dumb hit. But if that happened, I would probably just go like, I would faint, and you could wake me up when we win a national championship. Anyways, that's my take.
No, it's a great take, Josh. I'm sorry for laughing, but for some reason, both of our key players in the Smith category continue to leave the set.
I know where Uncle Bill is.
Yeah, a minute ago I looked down and Aunt Cindy was desolate. She was gone. And the next thing I know, Wild Bill gets up and he walks out. And I guess I need to do a better job of managing.
Bathroom break?
I need to do a better job of managing what's going on screen.
Did they just go have a makeout session?
Wild Bill, I had a question for you. And this is something I posed to Josh, and this is something I think that hurt our team. And you know, Coach Saban talked about rat poison, right? Well, I think just based on my outside perspective, our coaching staff hyped up this defense in such a way where it was like the second coming of a Saban defense. He hyped up this defense not only with player personnel, but also it's the second year. The scheme is they have more familiarity in the scheme, and they're going to have the ability to attack. This defense is going to be savage. I don't have all the words that he used. Now, we score a touchdown. FSU gets the ball. After a weird penalty that nobody ever sees, they proceed to march down the field and take the guts out of our defense. Do you think that our football team was actually so surprised that the strength of the team was walked over with almost without problem, that it deflated the entire day and the rest of the day went in the manner in which it went? What are your thoughts there?
That's a good question. I was not out there, but there was some effort to begin with. You know, they never did. We had them stop the first time they had the ball, and there was a phantom holding call that I never saw a replay on to know what. And then on two different occasions in the second half, we had them stopped. One of our experienced defensive linemen gets a crazy penalty for throwing his forearm in the quarterback's head after they got him on the ground. Third down, we had them held until that. We had them held again. We get a late penalty for hitting him out of bounds. Just little stupid stuff. But, you know, they talked about this speed we're supposed to have on defense. Where was it?
Correct.
Our Dijon Lee got his hind end smoked.
Yes, he did.
They hyped him all through the fall practices. How great he was, 6'4", he's able to do this. That boy beat him 10 yards.
Easily 10 yards. And, you know, when Castellano breaks through the middle, the heart of our defense, we have three guys in the secondary like standing flat-footed watching him. Zero aggression. Astonishing. Zero aggression.
And the angles that they were taking. Bray Hubbard, I don't know what he was doing back there. Him and Keon.
He wasn't giving any effort chasing
No,
people.
they were taking crazy angles. They're already by him. They're doing this. But to me, Cindy was watching it. There was no effort, and it seemed like the coaches, they wasn't adjusting. They wasn't adapting to what was going on. But I agree with what you said. He said, nothing caught us by surprise.
Lie. That's a lie.
Here's and they referenced about spying on the quarterback. Who did we have spying on the quarterback? I never saw it.
Well, what they meant, they were going to spy on his butt while he ran by him.
But here, I have one point, and I'm done.
And I got something after Uncle Bill.
Here, and y'all say, no, you crazy. When we play a team with a running quarterback, we're going to face a few of them this year.
Oh, God.
My spy would be Jalen Mbakwe. He started at Clay Chalkville as an 8th or 9th grader at defensive back. He played it all through his high school career. He did play wide receiver one year, and he played quarterback one year.
I don't know why you think we'd call you crazy for that. I agree.
But he still he's got the speed. He can run with any of these quarterbacks. Put him out there, let him spy on the quarterback, so that'll shut that stuff down.
We need a lot more than that, and I'm afraid to see what happens in Auburn against them. But I got a tweet I just saw from Legend. Y'all know who Legend is?
Yeah.
I do know who Legend is. Yes, sir.
He has insiders in the program, right?
Well,
allegedly.
A lot of his stuff comes true. Here's a tweet I saw from him. Rumors flying, Alabama players getting DoorDash at 2 a.m. in the morning, sneaking girlfriends into team hotel, and then players being late for the team bus to go to the stadium. It's clear this team has no real respect for the guys or anything he says. If that's true, then we are going to lose 6 games this year.
That's my concern. And, you know, later in the fourth quarter, I want to get some predictions on schedule, just like looking at the season where we're at. But Wild Bill, great Bama bullet points.
If this is true, these hotels, they're not staying in Motel 6. They're staying in nice motels. There's cameras down all the hallways. It wouldn't be hard to figure it out if they are.
No, it really
That's
wouldn't.
true.
I don't think the coaches, the players respect these guys because they have the nice boy attitude. It's just not working out. It's not working out. They're too nice.
Well, Freddie Roach played at Bama. Who's our other coach that played at Bama?
Yeah, but they're not the head. Clinton
I
Diggs.
don't mind. They can be checking on this stuff to put a
nobody has that attention to detail like Saban and some of these other good coaches. It's obvious that these coaches don't pay attention enough and hold them accountable. I mean,
I have that on my phone. Somebody sent that to me today. about the DoorDash and all this stuff.
Well, here's the thing, though, is we were told during this camp, even by Coach Saban himself, that there was a different mentality with this football team. But nothing, look, like Shakira says, the hips don't lie. The product on the field is not a lie. That is what the team and the program, sadly, has become to this point, until they do or produce something different. There was nothing different than what we saw at OU. There's nothing different that we saw against Vanderbilt, against Michigan. And I look at this, even Tennessee. We had chances to beat Tennessee. But where did the fight go in this program? And look, I am a fan of Kalen DeBoer, and I want him to succeed. Not just because I want the Tide to win, while selfishly, yes, I want the Tide to win, but also because he is a good man. He's a good family man. But it's time for him, in my opinion, to really remember what got him there and to reinvigorate or recreate or redefine a version of who he has to be at a program of this magnitude. And I agree with Josh. Look, I'm a nice guy, but on the football field, my coaching style was abject lunacy. Very intense. You can still have a good time, but somebody there has got to be the driving force of the mentality of the football team. Not lackadaisical. I mean, if you're stoic, you got to be able to back it up with passion, and we don't have it. We do not have a sense of passion, no killer mentality on the football field. It is not there, and the problem has to be solved at the coaching staff. That's where the problem is, and that has to be addressed. And it's interesting as we get ready to get into the second quarter, what the stats look like. I mean, there's a lot of things looking kind of equal, and yet the outcome, the score does not tell us the whole story about how bad, Alabama got beat. And yeah, I know I respect Damian Harris, and I guarantee it was as loud and as a crazy environment as there's ever been, but we still had opportunities to win, and we didn't present the Alabama standard that transcends Coach Saban. It goes beyond Coach Saban. I mean, he reestablished a mental toughness, or maybe he brought a mental toughness that we maybe had never seen at Alabama. But the Bama standard is supposed to be something different, and this team has no identity. It's just not there. Well, let me jump into this second quarter. Hey, that first quarter, Wild Bill and his Bama bullet points. Comment below. Wild Bill has, in the interim, he actually got up and freed himself.
I don't know if y'all are looking or not. We have a record right now. There's 104 people watching. Hello, everybody.
Hey, guys. Thank you to the 104 people who are watching. Thank you so much.
We usually just talk to ourselves, so this is pretty nice. I like it.
It's great to have you on, but we would love for you to interact with us. Hopefully, if you're commenting below, it's populating somehow, and
I don't
and
see
we
anything
can get you
from X. Just Facebook and YouTube. But X is where most of the viewers.
Yeah, Brandon has commented.
I'm already talking to him.
Oh, okay.
I'm keeping.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for watching that. So that is the first quarter. That is Wild Bill's Bama bullet points, and now it's time for the second quarter in stats.
This is the second quarter of the best podcast. Roll Tide.
Yeah, baby. The best podcast and Roll Tide. The voice on the end of that's kind of screwed up. I'll try to clean that up. Anyway, thanks a lot, everybody. Welcome to the second quarter. We're going to talk stats today. I got a few things to show you, but let's just get right into the discussion. If we're looking here at stats, obviously, Alabama falls to the Seminoles. But let's just take a look here. First downs, we got the Crimson Tide with 18, Florida State with 20. Third down efficiency, neither team really great at all. 6 of 17 for the Tide, 5 of 12 for the Seminoles. Fourth down efficiency, it's an embarrassing 2 out of 5 for the Tide, and even more embarrassing 2 for 2 for Florida State, with a total yards of 341 for Bama and 382 for FSU. I'm not seeing anything there.
It's wild because I watched the game and they pushed us around the whole field, and
they did.
That doesn't reflect it, but I watched the game with my own eyes, and we had no intensity.
I just don't understand the numbers. So maybe I'm just biased because we lost. Maybe the coaching staff is right. It's not as bad as we think, but no. I know what I saw.
The coaches are saying, don't believe your lying eyes. Well, you're lying, coach. Show me something better. Show me something better, or you're full of crap. And that's all there is to it. Yeah.
So here's the data. Let's take a look here now. Total yards, as you know, 341 for the Crimson Tide, 382 for Florida State. Passing, 254 for Ty Simpson, 152 for Castellano. Ty is 23 of 43 for 254 yards. And then Castellano, 9 of 14. Not a big day for old Castellano when it goes to the air, but heck,
he didn't have to throw the ball, though. No.
Yeah, he didn't need it. He didn't need it. Yards per pass, look at that, a whopping 5.9 for Ty, 10.9 for Castellano. No interceptions on the day. Now, here's something that's really impressive. I mean, this is a stat that you would write home about. Alabama gets a measly, which you heard in Wild Bill's Bama Bullet Points, 87 yards. Let's look at Florida State. 230 yards.
I also want to point out 5.9 yards of pass from Ty Simpson. Nothing special about that. That's very subpar.
It is, and I believe he can be better than that, but he's going to have to show it. So Alabama had 29 rushing attempts for 3 frickin' yards a carry, and then 49 for Florida State, nearly 5 yards a carry. So this is where you start to understand how things unraveled. We seemingly abandoned the rush, but then if you go by the box scores, it's like 0, 3 yards, missed pass, punt. So, the theory that Coach Saban had, as long as you're ending the drive in a kick, things usually work out. As Lee Corso would say, not so fast. Let's look at the penalties. Good job, Alabama. 8 penalties for 70 yards. Way to go. I mean, come on. Florida State, 4 for 40. 1 turnover on the punt, which gave us an opportunity for new life. And then look at the time of possession.
What?
And we did nothing with it. Look at the time of possession, too. Look how close that is. So right
down the middle. It's just.
What can we learn by the numbers here? I don't get it. This is not a formula to get beat so bad. It's just not. But
effort.
What happened?
Effort.
We got a little bit of a.
If that's what we look like when we're not prepared, then we need to be prepared because there is potential, right? But
there is.
If you're not prepared for the first game of the year, I don't understand what it takes to get you prepared. You don't want to hit another team. You've been hitting each other.
The fact is too is that any excuse that's made, and I don't think I heard any of the coaches make any excuses, but any excuse that's made is absolutely unacceptable. Who cares about the time start delay? Who cares about the weather? Who cares about the noise? Yes, like we had talked about in 2 programs ago, as we were kind of doing a practice run for the preseason. Austin was dead set on they've been practicing with crowd noise, and it's like, yeah, there's a difference in crowd noise and energy from a crowd.
Yes.
And so it's proven, this week. Let's look here though. Here's what I find very, very interesting. Alabama's breakdown for rushing. Josh, make sure to keep an eye on the comments if you would, just in case anything exciting shows up. Kevin Riley on the day, 5 carries, 31 yards. He had a long run of 13 yards. Richard Young, I thought Richard Young looked great, Wild Bill. I really did. He looked good, looked strong. Yes, Cindy Smith. She's a great watcher. She's a great a fan of the program. Penalties, 9 for 26. But then look at Ty Simpson, 9 runs for 17 yards. He had a long run of 13. Boy, I tell you, Ty, if you just finish out that run to get a first down, things
instead of throwing it to Ryan Williams low and on the ground, where you had 20 yards of free turf in front of you.
True. Daniel Hill, I think Daniel Hill underperformed. I'm not sure what was going on with him. 3 for 9 yards. Jeremy, we'll see in the passing zone that this guy, he looks to be.
You can't say nothing about that guy.
He looks to be the part. He looks to be the guy that has intensity, that's out there with a kill mentality. He catches the football. He runs with authority. He has some mental toughness, and I wonder why the rest of the team couldn't follow his lead. Now, conversely, let's look at Florida State's rushing. Tommy Castellano, 16 carries for 78 yards. Boy, he made us look really bad, guys. Danzy, 3 carries for 56 yards, that long one for 32 that really kind of just, started to hammer the nail in the coffin.
That was a reverse, correct?
I'll defer to you on that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Chroma, 7 for 31. Sawchuck, 6 for 28. And on down the line, they really used a number of backs to rack up that 230 yards on Alabama's defense. So whatever we think about the talent, whatever we're thinking about, the scheme, you have to think again, something must change because this is just a continuation from the Michigan game. And that was my thing about Gus Malzahn too. Austin, who's not on the program this week to defend himself, talking about us not having film on Malzahn, Josh made this point. There's all kinds of film by Gus Malzahn. No matter the color of the uniform, he runs the same scheme. We had plenty.
Same style of quarterback, same everything, same motion. You got film on him. You actually have film on him with this quarterback in Central Florida.
So it's all that lateral motion. It's about assignments. It's about playing aggressive.
Right.
And we failed. Okay. And on the other side of that, Malzahn had all the video evidence he needed. He had all the footage based on what destroyed us last year and caused us to achieve a 9-4 record. And he exploited it. He's an expert. And I mean, he did what we thought he was going to do.
Sure
they are who we thought they were, and we let him off the hook. I mean, it's embarrassing. Josh and I played a half of football on the PS5, and we were both sitting there. I played with Alabama. We were both sitting there, and I was lined up for a pass. And there were stars, like they put stars around
There were 7 stars.
7 out of 11 players had stars on the field, and I was disgusted. It deflated me so much. I was ready. I was like, let me go home and eat supper and go to bed. This is dumb. I did quit. All right, let's take a look at Alabama's receiving yards, 254. I think it's, for all intents and purposes, Ty had a pretty good day. I think 254 yards is enough for victory. So it's the running game, but look at Jeremy Bernard, dude. He balled out, and he caught passes. The effort he gave was incredible. Cuevas has got that catch for 31 yards, but I wish on these stats they would put the drops because it was uncharacteristic of Ryan Williams to drop the ball. Cuevas, I don't know what's going on with Cuevas. He did have 3 drops, but I mean, if you look at this, just this upper echelon, Rico Scott all the way up. I mean, I think that's pretty good production, except for Ryan Williams. Triple that is what I would have expected, and probably would have been a lot closer to that. But passing, Passing is not as big an issue if you look at the data. It's just not. And there were opportunities.
Yeah, but Quincy, you're forgetting that 5.9 yards a pass.
That's a fair point.
That's horrible.
But look over here.
He threw the ball 43 times, and he only completed 23 of them. That's barely 50%, and he only had 254 yards on 43 passing attempts for 5.9 average. All of his yards came to Jeremy Bernard. That was every long pass he had, pretty much.
Pretty close. I mean, he had a 27-yarder here and a 13-yarder here, but I'd say that 13 is probably more medium distance. 27 and up, that's long distance, but a lot of that came on production rather than just straight line passing, if I'm not mistaken. So let's look here at Tommy Castellano. You know, he's got his long ball is 64 yards, second longest pass, 40 yards. But really, there's not much that he needed to do. And as a matter of fact, if we would have taken a page out of their playbook, we could have continued to run the ball and eat the clock and just dump. And I told Josh this early. I was like, hey, this is great. The best way to nullify Castellano is long drives, run the football, keep the ball out of his hand. And then we just abandoned that. So, you know, those are your stats right there. Josh, we got 5,000 comments. What are you doing?
Oh, I was doing something with the no, we don't. We do not.
Okay, over on my side we do.
Well, you need to click them.
I do need to click them.
We have 0 new comments. Why don't you stop screwing this up?
I'll have to have to agree with that. Anyway, do your job, Josh.
Shit.
All right, so those are your stats brought to you by Man versus Marriage. That's right. Man versus Marriage is an all-time sponsor.
Don't forget, Kevin Riley played at Tuscaloosa County High School in Northport, Alabama.
Indeed, he did. And boy, he looks like a dangerous man.
Don't forget.
The second quarter is brought to you by Man versus Marriage, the podcast. That's right, all you 147 viewers. Go check out Man versus Marriage, the podcast. Guys, if you want to be a better man, if you want to be a better husband, a better lover, go get Man versus Marriage, the podcast. 358 episodes of power-packed marriage goodness. You're going to have a lot more you know what once you get on the podcast. Get after it, boys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. You know, Aunt Cindy, it's the third quarter. Should I go ahead and play the intro music for the Dashes on DeBoer? I think I will. Here we go. It's time for the third quarter. Okay, first things first. Amber Dash, if you are watching this video, you have to send me new photos. I cannot continue to watch those Nick Saban buttons fly across the screen with great hope, and then they don't show up because Nick Saban is gone. So please, I'll get a new video. With that, it's the third quarter, and it's time now for Dashes on DeBoer with Aunt Cindy. All right, Aunt Cindy, it's all you.
Okay, I just took a few little notes, listening to and reading a couple of articles. So I'm just going to share that, if that's okay. One of the things that I heard a couple of people talking about, they said that Coach Saban took stars and developed them to be bigger at Alabama. But the thing was, it didn't matter if you were a 5-star or a 2-star, you were treated the same. You're expected to do all of the same things. You know, it didn't matter where you fell, you know, in the star lineup. I thought that was really good. And I've heard a couple of different people say that they have some connections on the inside. And y'all probably heard them say this, like last year, players were showing up late to workouts. They were showing up late to practices. And they kept saying, it's not going to be like that this year. Well, they said evidence Saturday showed different. Some of the former players have put their input in and said that they've been holding practices in the AM instead of the afternoon and the evenings because it's not as hot. And they said that makes them soft.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me? How come we're not hearing about this until now?
I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about it. They know some people and they're friends with some former players, and some of the former players have been talking about that. So, anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting because, Coach Saban had them out there which you can't compare the two, I know. But, like back in the day, we used to go to the games and stuff when it was Bear Bryant. Because, back in the day, you didn't get to see them play on TV. You had to listen to it on the radio. And, rarely were they on television. And if you wanted to see an Auburn-Alabama game, you had to actually go to the game. But just knowing how Coach Bryant was with the players and how he, conducted everything and his personality. And I feel like when Coach Saban came, which Coach Stallings, I think, was kind of along the same lines too. But like Coach Saban kind of picked the ball up and continued that kind of tradition, I guess, but amped it up a little bit. It seems like now it's not there. I don't know if it's the money deal or this guy I didn't get to finish listening to all of it, but he said that it's like, they were talking about Coach Saban would, even when they would win, then when they would go back in the locker room or they would show up at practice, he'd be like, you hadn't won anything. We're practicing because you got to do it again, or you got to do this, or you got to do that. He said it's like these younger guys are showing up. They think because they're wearing the uniform that they've already won. They've already won a national championship. They've already won, whatever. And he said they've not won nothing. They have to earn that. And right now it doesn't look like they are, really kind of doing that. One of the guys on this podcast, he said that some people that he really trusted that had gone to some of the practices, like over the summer leading up, to the game and everything, said that they were talking about how great the practices were and how different players were, doing this and doing that. And he said, it's people that I trust. And he said, I was so excited, about the game Saturday. He said, but what we saw at the game did not match what they were saying. He said, it's like it's good on paper or like what they were seeing there, but then it didn't come across, at the game, so to speak. And, he said too, how they'd had some injuries just like the week before or 2 weeks before they actually played. He said he went back and watched the game and he was trying to analyze like what had happened, what went wrong. And he said he just wondered if over the practices, like with some of the injuries they were having, did they overdo it? And it's like when they got to the game, it was just like they were deflated or something. Because he said, they had told that some had the flu because, somebody was throwing up on the sidelines. And then there was a couple of other things, a couple of injuries. But he said, you don't know if that's true or not. But I'm still going to try to, be optimistic about Ty. And I felt like that he was trying to keep it together, but then again, when it showed him, he looked really overwhelmed in his eyes.
He did.
He could have been thinking because of how practices were going, we've got this. We're going to get out there and it's going to be, XYZ. And then when he actually gets in the game, it's like, what has happened? Where are my people? Where are my protectors? And they really weren't there. And I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because I do think he's a good guy. He has
Nice
talked about
guys
his
finish last.
hush. Let me
Hey.
finish. I did not talk while you were talking.
Ah,
Just saying.
He's been outspoken about his faith, and a lot of them don't do that anymore because they're afraid. He loves his family, he loves his parents, and you've got so many that haven't, had that. And so I just, I want him to do well. And I mean, this is his first start in a real game, so maybe his thoughts and all of what it was going to be, I think they let him down. I mean, the way I look at it, he probably didn't play his best. He protected the ball, though. He didn't fumble. He didn't have an interception. Yes, he was throwing it like a bullet, I know, to some of them. But his line didn't do their job. I mean, if you guys have gone back and watched some of the FSU players, like, run and knock them on their booties, it's like they were just out there like they were lost, just floating around like they didn't know how to tackle, or I don't know what they were doing, but bless them. It was just, I'm still just like, I don't even know what happened. And I've heard several people, and I have read it several times. They said that they think Coach DeBoer is a really good man. He's a nice man, but they don't really think his personality is going to work at Alabama.
Just a couple things before I turn it over to Josh real quick, because I know he's got a comment he wants to make. You can be a nice guy, but you can also still bring the thunder. And I know that. I know that for a fact. And just in my own life and my own development, of course, I have never coached at the level of the University of Alabama. I maybe I've not had that kind of pressure, but God knows that in my life, in real life, I've had significant amounts of pressure. And the reason I'm even going to talk about it is because you do have the ability to grow outside of yourself and become what the moment needs. How do I know that? Because I have done that. Right. Obviously, it's by the grace of God. It's by a lot of hard work, and it's about choosing the mental fortitude and becoming who you want to be. And he has the goods. Mm-hmm. But in this particular situation, when it comes to the University of Alabama and the expectations, this man has the framework to get the job done. But what got him here is not going to get him to where he wants to go with this program, because he's got to embrace something that he may never had to have done before. It's a new version of who he is. And Coach Saban had to do that on some levels whenever he was coaching, because he had a system and a process, and he was forced to evolve when offenses changed in college football and in the SEC. So that's where DeBoer finds himself. Mm-hmm. I was not built to stand face to face, with neurosurgeons and advocate and fight and push back and demand that my daughter gets brain surgery. But you have to embrace the moment. I wasn't built to sit in front of the two people that sexually abused my kids, but you have to embrace the moment. I wasn't built for many of these things, for autism, for seizures, etc. And that's real life. And for him, this is real life. This is the program. It's the future of his coaching staff. It's the families that are connected. It's the boys that are there that want to be professional football players. He has to rise to the moment, and he can. Mm-hmm. He has what it takes. And he's a great coaching staff around him. And I say that too about Ty, because we want the good guys to win.
Yeah.
But he's got to execute. And yes, I agree with you. When it comes to building resiliency, you don't there's a part of that gets built on game day, but you forge that in the fire of practice. Josh, I'll turn it over to you. What did you want to say?
That was a lot, and it's going to be hard to top that. I just wanted to say that I understand Aunt Cindy and all y'all have a soft spot for him because his faith and, you know, how he's outspoken about it. But at the end of the day, he's also a paid player, and he's going to be held to the same standard. And I didn't like what I saw out of him or the rest of the team. It's just the fire was not there. He says all the right things. He said he had his little Tebow moment after the game and said, "I'll tell you what, you're never gonna see anybody work as hard as me." And he literally did the Tebow thing to the camera. And it's like, I gotta see. I was doubting the guy before because he had been there 4 years, and I know you say it's cool to stay in one spot, right? And while you think that's a thing, after 4 years, I want to see you be more polished and have more confidence. If you don't have confidence after 4 years of playing college football at the University of Alabama, when is it going to come? When is it going to come? I want him to succeed too. Whether Austin thinks I don't, people don't think I want him to succeed. I want Bama to win. And whatever has to happen for that, that's what I want. After that first drive, what did I say, Quincy? I said, he made really good decisions. He's looking good. And then it fell apart the rest of the game. All you got to do is win at Bama, and you're going to win me over. And that's all I'm going to say.
And you don't see, I think at some point you can remain calm, like coaches and stuff like that. But at some point, you've got to see some fire somewhere. And like,
you have to.
Yes.
I mean, and I think that would, it's like the players. I heard, I guess it was the guy I was listening to. I've listened to a couple of different people and read several different things. He said he walked down like on the, Alabama sideline a couple of different times. And he said it was just like they were lifeless. It was just like, woo. And Roman Harper spoke out today. He said that they asked him, but he didn't really want to answer. He said it was a disappointing sight for many Alabama faithful, including himself. He offered his thoughts on the situation during the halftime show. I guess it was between South Carolina and Virginia Tech. He said they asked him if he was worried, and he didn't hide it. Said he wanted to say no, but he said yes. Alabama has not played well the last year and a half on the road, and right now you have a very tough schedule. So if you don't beat FSU, Wisconsin all of a sudden looks a lot tougher. And then at Georgia, I don't even want to talk about that, he said, because we need to focus on a whole bunch of other things before you even get there.
What about
that's a fair
Alabama?
point.
What about at Auburn with Jackson Arnold?
Well, here's the thing. I want to,
I'm not going to watch it.
No, that's a great point, especially by Roman Harper. And I'll say this right before I turn it over to Wild Bill. As a leader, sometimes in critical moments, you have to show emotion.
Right.
And I've never done it. I've never done it on the scale that Coach DeBoer has, and I have the utmost respect for him. I've never done it on that scale. But whether it's with my little family of 10 or in my professional life.
Little, yeah.
And that's a football team almost, except for
that's right.
You need one
swimmer away from a whole football team.
Your players or your family or your colleagues or your subordinates, they need to see that you believe. And if they don't see and feel, people are looking to someone to provide hope when no one is out there building hope. And we needed that from Coach DeBoer. And the look on his face was a reflection, or actually Ty was a reflection of Coach DeBoer, because it looked like Coach DeBoer was astonished, like, what's going on here? Like, he didn't get it. Obviously, he was frustrated. So, Wild Bill, I want to go to you before we start the fourth quarter, and begin to wrap this program up. And hey, look, if you're watching the program, we want to thank you for being here at the BS Podcast. Make sure that you comment on whatever platform you're watching, and we will feature you on the program. Wild Bill, what was it that you wanted to say?
227 live viewers right
We
now.
are 5-5 our last 10 games.
Ooh, golly.
5-5.
He's lost to
Ooh.
what? Four unranked teams.
Yeah. Ty, I was listening to him today. Ty, he had the first option. The first option was there. The receiver was open, but they said he was hesitant to throw the ball. But also, you got to understand, Ty's last real action in game was a senior in high school 4 years ago. His really playing, so I could see that. But it's also what's wrong with Grubb? What's wrong with Nick Sheridan? What's wrong with Coach DeBoer going over to the bench where he's at? You know, saying, "Hey, you've got to do this, you've got to do that," and not just him, everybody. He can't help it. He had 5 drop passes.
True.
You know, and you never know. Ryan Williams can take one slant like Devontae used to and go to the house with it. He can't hit. He can't throw it and catch it. So you got
just
to
wait till this week when the other two quarterbacks get to play, and we really have a controversy.
They may bring Dylan down to play with us.
Boy, don't get me started on Lonergan, baby.
No, Wild Bill, I think you make a great point, and something I'm thinking about where you're talking about his last real action being being in high school. And I'm not here to make excuses for Ty Simpson on behalf of Ty Simpson. As much as I like him, as much as I love that he presents his faith in Jesus Christ. And yes, that is another reason I want him to kick the living you-know-what out of every opponent from here on forward. But it's almost like a professional fighter that's only been sparring for 4 years and hasn't actually been in the ring to fight. And so a lot of times the first fight back, they're pretty rusty, and it showed. And one thing that I'll agree with Josh on, after that first drive, we had our confidence built because of some of the decisions he made. Now, this could ultimately simply be, I don't know what all the background noise is about the 2 a.m., chicks and food and the people not showing up for practice, et cetera, et cetera. This could all be a colossal failure and meltdown. And if the team utilizes this, because success leaves clues and failure leaves clues, if the team takes this and they have their proverbial come to Jesus moment, and they decide that from here on things are going to be different, it is possible. And of course it should be different against the Warhawks of Louisiana Monroe. But we're now, like you said in the interview you were talking about, Wisconsin looks a lot different. Now it's at home, but it looks a lot different because of our inability to be consistent with the football offensively. And then who knows? I mean, is it a regular Big Ten offense where they're just going to line up and run the ball and we can stack the box? We don't know that yet. But my question to me is, I've been trying to work through it just because I love the game of football. I love Alabama football, enjoying the game with you guys, doing this podcast, etc. Could this possibly, and this is the optimist in me that tends to get me whipped when it comes to believing in Alabama last year, but could it possibly be the best case scenario that happened to us to truly humble us and help us understand that only hard work, dedicated, great attitude, great effort is going to win on the field, because that game is going to continue to humiliate this team for the course of the season. And the only opportunity they're going to have to fix that, or the only couple outcome opportunities they'll have to fix that, is number one, maybe they get to see him again in the playoffs. Or number two, they get to the playoffs and they make a run and compete. But I'm with Josh right now. Right now, I'm concerned that we could lose, five, six games.
5 or 6 games at least.
Just looking at that. So That was a great third quarter, Aunt Cindy. You really kept command of the huddle, much better than Ty did for the balance of the game. Ty Simpson, I love you, man. If you ever see that joke, I will probably apologize. I hate criticizing players. I just hate it. But
Hey,
it's time now.
They're paid athletes now, so
I know.
free game.
I know. It is free game, but it doesn't make it feel any better because I was a coach and one time I was a player.
It's still somebody's son or brother or grandkid.
That's why I'm not. That's why I'm not gonna insult them personally, but I will talk about.
Yeah, I'm talking
their
about
play.
their play on the
He's
field.
still making about
I
$1 million.
know, but
this year.
still, that's from a mama's
is.
standpoint, I guess.
Well, here you go. It's time now for the fourth quarter.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome now to the fourth quarter.
It ended kind of abruptly. I would like a fade out, you know. Get what the
I will
update that.
download CapCut. I'll send you the raw file, and you make it better because I know you can.
You're way better, dude. You got it.
But I do agree it needs to be better. I started getting into that little beat there. But let's talk about the fourth quarter, ladies and gentlemen. 0-1 Alabama. That's really hard to say. 0-1. 0-1 Alabama takes on the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks
Let's see,
on Saturday.
Don't forget, I had a discussion from the chat I wanted to go over real quick.
Yes, we're going to do that.
Oh, you got it coming up.
I'm a freaking professional.
All right, cool. Well, I've been texting you on the side. You ain't answered me.
With text? We're talking about text?
Multitask. Yeah.
I am multitasking. I'm breathing and talking at the same time.
Multitask.
Yeah, we're going to get to it.
Cool.
This week, the fourth quarter is brought to you by, you know what? It's going to be brought to you by this. Since we have 254 listeners or watchers, I got to say this. I will. But today, the fourth quarter is brought to you by IamJoshMoran.com. High quality crap. That's right. Go there to IamJoshMoran.com and get all of your high quality crap possible. It's brought to you by Grit and Grace Goodies. Bring up Roll Tide 20 for 20% off. And, ladies and gentlemen, Man versus Marriage, the podcast that you want. And hey, I'm going to tell you what, this week's show coming up for Man versus Marriage, former schoolmate of mine who got lost in addiction, lost her marriage, and is now in recovery for 13 years, a new marriage for 9 years. And I got to tell you, a very, very inspiring story. So make sure you check out Man versus Marriage. I would play the promo on here, but it's 2 minutes, and I don't want to do that. But it's a great story, redemption, and we are all looking for some redemption, especially in Tuscaloosa this week against Louisiana Monroe. So what do you say? Before that, though, we have for you an exciting conversation that we want to bring to the program, because I got to tell you, viewers, the BS podcast, or the Bama Sports Hotline, which is a text group between all of us who do the program, it gets lively. If in last week's program, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it, because toe to toe in the red corner, Josh Moran, in the blue corner, Wild Bill going after it. And I got to say, they didn't prove anything to us, guys. So everybody's wrong. But this week, I'm gonna bring Josh, to the forefront of the program as we talk about the BS Hotline, the Bama Sports Hotline.
We talk about this all the time. So Austin can go from 0 to the Godfather in 3 seconds. When things are not going right for sports, we'll say. He takes it very seriously. So I had a chat thread that I wanted to share with. I hope it doesn't get him in trouble, but he's not here to defend himself. And what better time to talk about somebody when they're not around to defend themselves.
What are you doing? You want to talk about a track? Come on, what are we doing around
Here
here?
we go. All right, I'm just going to go through the conversation. It won't be long, and then we can get back to our predictions. So I'm going to bring up the first. I'll do the voices for Uncle Bill and Aunt Cindy, and then you do the voice for Austin.
The part of Austin will be played by Quincy Moran.
And the part of
I'm not in this.
you in it.
No,
Just
I'm not.
just a little bit. I mean, it's your text, so here we go. And I want to do both of y'all's voices. So I got Aunt Cindy's down. I don't know about Uncle Bill.
He does do a great impression of one of you. I'm not going to say who it is, but it's pretty funny.
All right, so the first one. This coaching staff wasn't ready for the Gus bus. They weren't prepared. And then Amber says, Gus has a hex. I don't know how to say hers. Gus is a hex on Alabama.
Gus Malzahn can drop dead.
Laugh emoji from Amber. Moving on. Uncle Bill. Austin, y'all need not to say some of them things while I'm out on the golf course working it.
Forget about it. I mean it.
Moving on.
Wait. I
What?
wasn't involved in this. No.
That's
y'all-
you right there. You're literally
No.
But you told him not to say the things. You said, Austin, while I'm on the golf course, you don't say stuff like that.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. I'm trying to backstroke. Yeah. All right.
Some of this stuff's made up.
Moving on. Aunt Cindy says, we shouldn't say that about anyone. You better ask for forgiveness. Austin needs Jesus. And then laugh emoji. And then last one.
I mean what I said when I said it. Yeah, that's that's why he can't keep a job, because he's just done so well since.
Quincy, your own voice.
Oh, my own voice. He can say what he wants in my book. We stunk, and he's a big reason why.
And then me, I said, he just kicked our ass. He can say whatever he wants. And then I said, jinx. So I came up with a depiction of what Austin wants to happen to the Gus bus. The Dutch father. He's the Dutch father.
Hey, it's me, the Dash Father.
The Dutch father put him in a grave. Put the Gus
I
bus
want to
in a
retire the
grave.
Gus bus. I'm retiring the Gus bus. You know what I mean?
He's leaving. He's all in his cartoon bus. Deep, 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 deep. Good game. Hey, I'm the Dash father. Get in your
Say
grave.
hello. What about this? Say hello to my little friend.
Get in the grave, you dirty bastard. All
Hey.
right.
Whoa.
That's what I had. I thought that was pretty funny. I wanted to do the music in the background, but I ain't figured out how to.
I could do that. So this Alabama prediction is brought to you by Austin Dash. Go check him out. He's actually a great singer. So I hope you get an opportunity to go check out Austin Dash. He's got an album. He just dropped a brand new song. Why didn't I have that thing on here?
Yeah, that's pretty messed
It's a pretty
up.
good song too.
His face is like this when he sings.
Yep. Got to get the oxygen to the lungs.
I love
Okay.
talking about people when they're not around. It's great.
He actually does. He does it a lot. With that being said, let's go to this week's prediction. Now, we would talk about the scores from last week, but
Nobody got it right.
nobody,
I got it.
nobody,
I almost got it right, but backwards. So
yeah, which if you almost got it right, it means you got it absolutely wrong. So
okay.
I thought I had the scores here. I know for sure that I said Alabama was going to win 24-12. I suck. Josh said,
38.
oh, here we go.
38.
I found it. All right. Austin said 35-17. Holy cow. Austin was almost on the money, but he said it for Alabama. Amber said 32-19. Emily, our guest picker, said 42-14. Josh said 38-17. Wild Bill said 31-20. And the Q Dog said 24-12. Now, here's the way this season should go.
We lose because we all picked them to win.
Right.
Yeah, I think if you pick a team to win and they lose, you get 0. So at least we know that. Now, I want to go to you first, Aunt Cindy, and I was looking through. Josh, do you have the scouting report on Louisiana Monroe?
No. They only had one game, so I could go look at their first game.
Yeah, I can. I'll actually bring that up here so we can look at some of the stats from La Monroe, and we'll talk about that. We got to get this program finished out here pretty soon. We are.
Because I need to eat.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I don't eat enough. I don't eat enough.
I don't eat enough. Forget about it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and share.
There it is.
I'll share the screen.
Oh, you're sharing the screen. I'm sharing the screen. I'll remove mine. You share.
Josh, if I was in front of you, what I would do. Okay, so here it is. I guess Armenta is a transfer from Oklahoma, which is not good. He was on the team that beat Alabama, I guess, last year. Gosh, I can't stand
God.
So here's how he lines up against Ty. He had 95 passing yards. That's impressive. Who knows what it's going to look like against Alabama, though. Compared to Ty's 254, McReynolds rushed for 113, which I did see in the scouting report. They're pretty heavy with go. Guess what, guys? They're pretty heavy with run and misdirection. Looking forward to that. Their premier wide receiver, he had 32 yards receiving. No wonder Coach Walmack said he guaranteed 100% improvement.
They had 311 yards rushing in the game, so there's that.
That's going to be great. Yeah, that's fantastic. And look at this. Keon Sabb had 1 sack, and D. Perkins McAllister had 2, so they showed us up there. And D. Perkins McAllister even showed up, Don. What is up with Lawson, dude? He played what looked to be a slow, terrible football game. Golly. He had 8 solo tackles compared to Lawson's 6. So that's kind of the scouting report there. I mean, right here, Alabama was favored last week on the road. Epic fail. And this week, 96.3% is the favorability to win. And what is Alabama favored by 37.5 points? I don't know, Josh. Do you think Alabama scores 37 points this week? You don't have to give your prediction. I mean, just yet. We're going to go to Aunt Cindy first. But
I want to say no, but we better. I'm just not going to say no. We better. Yes, we better. There's no way in hell if we don't, then I can't even finish my sentence. I don't even know. If we don't, then can we get like basketball season and Nate Oates here already? Because I need somebody to save me at that point.
How about Jesus? He's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
sure
not
is.
the kind of saving I need. I'm talking about sports.
Oh, in athletics. Okay, I'm sorry.
Obviously, it doesn't work to pray for wins in sports.
As it shouldn't.
Right.
Because that's a meritocracy, and you need to earn the win. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go ahead and dive in. I hate when people say that because we're not swimming. Let's go ahead. Okay, Brandon Phillips. Josh, can you keep track of the score for us this week?
No.
Aunt Cindy, can you keep track of the score for us this week?
Yes. I sure can.
All right. Let's go ahead and start with you. It's a 6:40. Look at this premier kickoff time rather than 2:30 in the afternoon or 2:50. 6:45 p.m. kickoff. So Alabama is setting the stage for their first game, Bryant-Denny Stadium on Saban Field of the 2025 season. And what is your prediction for Alabama taking on the Louisiana Monroe Horhawks?
Horhawks?
I'm going to say 24-12. Bama.
What? Are you serious? That was my score from last week.
I'm not going big.
Do not go big or go home.
Exactly. I don't want to
Overcompensate. Got it.
yes.
That's how I feel about something. Never mind.
Part of Josh's
Y'all can-
everyday life.
Y'all can go big if you want to.
I
Okay.
would love to. That's not in the genes.
All right, Josh. Go ahead and go ahead and give us your prediction.
All right, I want to give you my prediction, but first I just want to throw a little something up there and say I know you're going to say it's about who they played, but look at them stats, brother. Dylan Lonergan, 26-34, 268 yards and 4 tutties.
Playing Hoover High School. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's just wait until he plays Michigan State at 6:30 p.m. during the Bama game.
And
I thought we were giving this thing for the Bama game.
We are, but this is my time to shine, and I am going to highlight the guy that I said was the best quarterback on the roster for 2 years. And there he is, right there. My score is probably reluctant, but this is my score right here. And that's me after I bought my Oklahoma tickets. And I saw the score of the first game. So Alabama 38, Monroe 17. If they score 17 on us, we suck. If we only score 38, we suck. But I'm going by what I saw in the first game, and I'm not expecting these guys to be inspired. And if they are inspired, it doesn't matter. We're playing La Monroe. This is just get it done and shut the hell up, and I'll make my prediction next week.
I got to tell you, Josh, I want them to play inspired not take one single play for granted.
How are we going to know if they're inspired if they're playing an inferior team, though?
It has to start with an inferior team. You need to play like you're expected to play. You need to win big like you're expected to win, and that's how you start to handle business. Because when you get into the idea of taking teams lightly, like Alabama did in the Nick Saban era with Utah or Oklahoma, then you lose games you're supposed to win, which Kalen DeBoer has a track record of doing in his tenure at Alabama. So we need to take this game and play inspired, and at the half, they need to be begging the referees to run the clock and to get back to Louisiana. That's my opinion. We better
not see Ty Simpson after the first quarter or mid-second quarter. He better play.
He does need it. I'm hoping he plays.
They better play so good they score 28 points before halftime, and they yank it. That's what I want to see.
I'm really hoping he plays through the mid-second and then comes back out and takes a series after halftime after the adjustments are made to get some practice in there. And then let's see Mac and let's see Keelan Russell. Let's get some mileage on them cats. All right, Wild Bill, it's time for you. What do you have for us, buddy?
41-10.
All right, WB.
Any insight or?
Hey, I've got 2 questions right quick.
Yes, sir.
And I forgot what they were. First of all,
dang.
Why did Gus step down from being a head coach to want to be an offensive coordinator? Second of all is I did forget the second one, but that was my first one.
Here's what I would say.
I know why he did, because he's a snake, right, Uncle Bill?
You got it. He's a boa constrictor.
That's where you were going with that.
Wild Bill.
How dare a coach try to better his career?
It.
How dare a coach try to get better and go to a program where he can be an OC and then try to become the coach?
I know what the second question. Okay, I know they initially called targeting on the Ryan Williams hit. They ruled it wasn't targeting, but I thought that they had changed that. Even if they rule it's not targeting, if it's a hit above the shoulders to the head, it's still an unsportsmanlike conduct. The boy suffers a concussion and there's no penalty. Are you serious?
Well, that is the value brought to you by the ACC referee group. I thought that was, it might have been a glancing blow, but you can see in the video the intention of the player. So it should have been a 15-yard penalty, if nothing else. if it wasn't targeting. So I thought that was pretty peculiar, like a few things.
Because you know who the defender was?
Earl Little
Earl Little.
from Bama. Yeah.
I wanted him to be trucked over.
Uncle Bill
Yep,
wanted
and-
to die with the gut bus.
The Gus Bus mentality. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the Quincy Moran pick, which I was so good last week. Never mind. Here's what happens. Alabama comes out, and before we get started, what did you guys see that report over the weekend?
Ayo! Let's go, bro.
Okay.
Let's go.
I'm just kidding. I had to put that Bat Saban photograph up there. Coach DeBoer, I hope one day I get to meet you and shake your hand, and I pray you have all the success possible at Alabama, but I still thought that was a pretty good joke, so hopefully you'll forgive me and take it as satire, because that's what it was. All right, Alabama comes out in the first quarter and puts on 14 points on the mighty Warhawks. The Warhawks do kick a 53-yard field goal and show Alabama what a 53-yard field goal looks like to score 3 points. First quarter, 14-3. Stop, Josh. Alabama scores 10 compared to the 7 of the mighty Warhawks in the second quarter, and then we go to halftime. We make adjustments. Alabama comes out, and they score a fat 14 points in the third quarter compared to the mighty Warhawks 3. And then we get the ninth round guys in. Alabama scores a touchdown, and then we hack the kick wide left, miss it, so we get 6 points. The Warhawks score another touchdown for a total score of 44-20. Your Alabama Crimson Tide even the record to 1-1. What do you think about that?
What was the score again?
44-20.
It sounded like there was a lot more scoring going on than that, with all that play-by-play. But, so 44-20. All right. If they score 20 on us, we need to quit the season. If they score 17 on us, like I said, we need to quit the season.
I'm okay as long at the end of the day, our score is at least double theirs. Show me the money.
So
now double zero.
Okay, well, what about 20-10?
It's a win. Let's bring it on in.
No, I ain't in that. But if we barely beat the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks, DeBoer no more. Like I said, not satire.
If we barely beat them, Georgia will kill us. Maybe Wisconsin too.
They beat us.
Well,
They beat us
kill us
late in the
anyways.
first year.
They did.
Oh,
Could
God.
this be a reoccurrence of 2008 or 2007?
This is the second year.
It's true. And DeBoer is supposed to be better in his second year. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as we begin to close out this part of the program, I wonder if I could get 2 minutes from you and give you the opportunity to watch this moving preview. Can I get a thumbs up from everybody that is that's right here on the program? There's one.
God, what does he do?
If you've done it, somebody else has too. You are not alone. Ask for help. Help is available.
You know, I find myself at 38 years old with a problem. And I came to Florence because I wanted it over with. You know, I knew I couldn't live that way anymore. And I just, you know, I'd even done a year in jail, you know, when I got to Florence. You know.
Living with my mom and dad, and I was 33 years old, and I was on a walker. And all of my hair had already fallen out. My kids were watching me kill myself, basically. And so at that point, I got to a place in my life where I knew that I needed some help.
We get married, and I only want to do the recovery thing. I think I can just be a good guy and go to work. I don't want to do the recovery thing 100%. Well, I ended up relapsing a couple of times, you know.
If my parents could have got me sober or my kids could have got me sober, that's exactly what I would have done. But that just didn't work for me. I had to be in a place that I wanted to make some changes in my life. Surrender. I cannot tell somebody how to surrender. We have a saying in recovery, surrender to win, and that's exactly what happened to me.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, please go to AA
That's AA like Alcoholics Anonymous .org. Welcome back to another episode of Man vs. Marriage. It is I, your humble servant, the Q-Diggity Dog, in the Moran family studio with my lovely wife, Jeannie Moran, and we are joined
I'm not crying. You are.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you take an opportunity to take a look at that. Yeah.
Who was that? She looked familiar.
Sandy Ledbetter Pool.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just a very, very moving story of redemption. And really hard to make it through that without dripping a few tears out
I'm
of your
not
eye.
crying. You are.
That's right. Yeah. It is. So with that, I'm going to give our team here at the BS Podcast an opportunity to say their final thoughts as we move into the Warhawk Week. And 300 of you out there watching the program, God bless you. Thanks for watching us. Thanks for sticking around this long and enjoying the BS Podcast. Yeah,
Thanks,
even bots.
Thanks, bots.
Bots, you are welcome here anytime.
Bots make the world go round.
All right, Aunt Sandy, your final thoughts as we get ready to take on the Warhawks.
I just want to say, and I told your Uncle Bill this last night, y'all probably won't agree with me. I said, in all the things that has happened this past week, some things are really sometimes just more important than football.
Oh, I agree with that. That's why I don't take the losses hard.
So we've had, in an area not far from us, 2 young girls were killed in a car wreck. And in that same community, there was a bad ATV accident over the weekend that killed the parents. And 7 children are left without their mom and dad.
Oh,
And
my
so-
gosh.
And then, of course, up in Minnesota, that was horrible. So when you kind of, put it all in perspective, of course, we don't want to lose, but, there's more serious things going on.
I still hate us, and I want them to win.
I still want them to win and roll tide.
Roll Tide.
That's right. That's right. All right, Josh Moran, what do you got to say? Thanks, Aunt Cindy.
I would like to say thanks to all the bots and real humans watching. Hopefully next week we can do well, because last week our high was 18 viewers. I would say that is a significant jump. It's 292 more people than last week, or bots. But
No, there was a bunch of people that watched last week. I saw the thing.
I have
It's
it documented. It was 18, maybe 20. It was not 300. So it's 300 today, which is a lot for us, I would say.
And a good movie.
This is watching live, not views, because the views should be a lot more. These are actually people watching right now.
It was views. That's what I saw. It was a good minute. It was a lot of views. Yeah.
So the views should be way higher on this, especially on X. But thanks to everyone, and hopefully we keep your attention next week. And one more time, get in there, Gus Bussy, Austin the Dash Father. It's coming.
The Dash Father. Josh, you have to remember those words of Bear Bryant, Nick Saban, which is act like you've been there. But now that you've outed us for 4 viewers for 4 years, we appreciate that. But thanks a lot. And I know that you're a big fan of bots, because when you do your TikTok makeup in the morning, you got all kinds of bots watching. So you're a fan of the bots.
I don't do TikTok makeup.
Just makeup in general.
Cross-dressing, makeup, etc.
All the things, as they say. Wild Bill, your final thoughts as we get ready.
Look up,
for the
your
Warhawks.
redemption draweth nigh. Roll tide, it'll be a better week.
And
Yes,
he's
it will.
gone. That's it.
we accumulated enough money through Cash App to set Wild Bill free.
Look, we had a rough day at the golf course today.
I believe it.
Every
I believe
time
it with
Nick
all
and
the.
Harry came and played golf because they wasn't working.
That's right, because it's Labor Day. That's right. And look, Alabama, this is our plea to you for the young men that represent this fine football establishment and the university, every play does matter. The fan base cares. I agree with Josh in the sense that it is for the fans. One aspect, at least, that you do play the game. We love the state of Alabama. We love our football team. And we ask that you go out there and you handle business, of course, 1 week at a time and return us to the Bama standard or create or elevate the Alabama standard from whence Coach Saban left it. So that's our request to you, at least mine. And as always, an absolute roll tide.
Bye.
One message for you from your aunt. She will bust both of you in the head. Can y'all hear me?
Not rocket science, you know.
I think you, like me, have a face for radio.
Can y'all hear me?
We gon' play with the players we got. Next man up.
That's why it sucks.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
This kind of unprofessionalism does not need to be tolerated. I mean it. Like,
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
what the hell is going on here? Just all hang up.
Another episode of the BS Podcast.
Hang
I'm your
on,
host,
hang
Quincy
on,
Moran.
hang on. There's all kinds of noise in my ear now.
Oh, jeez.
We need a little bit more professionalism.